Hello and welcome back, future scientists. I'm Mr. K with Mississippi Public Broadcasting. We're going to continue our lesson today talking about evolution and all the theories that go into it, okay? What I wanted to do today is go ahead and review some of the things that we talked about in the last two lessons. So if the teacher in the room could go ahead and pass out this worksheet for me, why don't y'all take about 10 minutes to work on it. When you're done, come back to me and I'll review it on the board with y'all. All right, I'm sure that didn't give y'all any problem, but just in case it did, we're going to go ahead and review it on the board here just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with this. So number one says to match the monomers to the polymers. Now y'all might remember the last time I saw y'all, we were talking about this pre-biotic state on the Earth. How did we get life on the planet? Well, before we have life, we need the building blocks of life. And so these are the building blocks of life. These are called macromolecules, and I just wanted to review them with you real quick. So what we're doing here, these are the macromolecules on the left, and we're trying to match the monomers that make them up. So let's go ahead and look at number one here. One is proteins. Which of these, A through D, is the building blocks of proteins? That's going to be letter C, amino acids. Amino acids make up proteins. Great work. Let's go to the next one. Number two says carbohydrates. Which of these on the right make up carbohydrates? Well, you might remember that monosaccharides are the monomers of carbohydrates. Saccharide is a word for sugar, and carbohydrates are sugars. Let's go to the next one here. Three is lipids. Which of these makes up lipids? The thing you really want to remember here is that lipids is just a scientific word for fat. If you can remember that, it's easy to see how fatty acids would be the ones that make up lipids. And then the last one here is nucleic acids. Which one of these make up nucleic acids? That's letter A, nucleotides. The words kind of sound alike there, right? So nucleotides make up nucleic acids. Okay, so we'll go to 5 and 6 here. What these are talking about, these are different types of reactions. One of them builds things up and one of them breaks things down. Let's see if we can remember which one's which. Number 5 here says dehydration synthesis. So when we're doing this reaction, are we building things or are we breaking them apart? Well, what I really want you to notice here is that the word synthesis means to make. And so if we're making something, we're going to build it up, right? What we're doing in that dehydration synthesis is we're removing the water, and that fuses the monomers together to make a polymer, right? And then number 6 here is hydrolysis. Remember that this suffix here, lysis, means to split. And so this is going to be letter A, splitting. This is how we can take a polymer, break it apart into smaller units using this hydrolysis as kind of the reverse. We insert water into it, and that's going to break the monomers apart. Great job on that. Just a couple more to go. So let's look at 7. 7 here says, which of the following is not a characteristic of the first living life forms? So looking at these, we should be able to, some of these do describe those first living organisms, but which ones don't? So what we want to remember here, the answer is B, aerobic. Remember that early Earth did not have much oxygen in the atmosphere. If you don't have any oxygen in the atmosphere, there's no point in you trying to do aerobic respiration because there's no oxygen to use. For billions of years, the Earth didn't have any oxygen in the atmosphere. It was those single-celled, anaerobic, photosynthetic bacteria pumping oxygen into the atmosphere, and that took a long time to get oxygen in the atmosphere. So they were not aerobic. Letter B is going to be our best answer for that one. Let's go to 8. This says, which term best means a cell without a nucleus? Okay, so this is just a vocabulary term I need you to know. The answer here is A, prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are cells that do not have a nucleus. These are bacteria. You and I and animals and plants, we're all eukaryotic, and so the best way to remember that is just to say you are a eukaryote. You've got a nucleus in your cell. All right, let's go to 9. Where do scientists think life on Earth got started? So there's a couple of different answer choices here. We talked about one of these. Hopefully we remember that A is going to be our best answer choice. Okay, near these deep sea hydrothermal vents, down deep in the ocean, where there's these cracks and crevices that lead deep down into Earth's crust. There's a lot of chemicals that are coming out of those hydrothermal vents. It's very warm because of it's so close, you know, it's deeper down in the crust. And so all of those things coming together, the chemicals and the water and the heat, that's where scientists think that these first life forms, these early cells, got their start deep down in the bottom of the ocean. All right, last one here, 10 says, which organelle started off as free living bacteria and got incorporated into cells? The answer here is going to be letter B, mitochondria and chloroplast. I gave y'all a term last time. Remember that endosymbiosis. We had these early cells. Instead of eating the mitochondria and the chloroplast, they kind of teamed up, right? They made that win-win relationship where the mitochondria and chloroplast got somewhere to live and the cells got free energy and food from these organelles. So they kind of teamed up and it was a win-win for both of them. So hopefully that didn't give y'all any problem. Just wanted to make sure I reviewed that stuff with y'all before we start covering new stuff. So thank you so much for making it today. Your teacher has some other work for you to do, so make sure to give that your best effort, and I hope everybody has a great day.